Ouch!
I heard a sound of distress. May I be of assistance? Welcome, guys. I'm LaVanway, and you know what time it is. Let's talk about Big Hero 6! Okay, so Big Hero 6. I just recently got to go see this movie with my family, and overall, we loved it. Now, this movie is directed by two people, Don Hall and Chris Williams. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you, I enjoyed this movie. And on one side of me, I had my daughter, and on the other side, I had my son. And we were all watching together. My wife was there too, but I'll give you some perspective as we were there. And I get to be with my kids and watch this movie, and do I like it, and experience how they like it, and really see if this is a good family movie, a good children's movie. And I like to say that it stands up for me personally on both those fronts. So we've got this movie that takes place in the future. And right off the bat, you start off in this great-looking cityscape called San Fransokyo. So it's a combination of San Francisco and Tokyo. And you can see in the development that it sort of does look, if you've seen pictures of Tokyo and San Francisco, you can see how they nicely blended it together. And you've got this great family dynamic between Hiro, who's of course part of the Big Hero 6, he's the main character, and his brother Tadashi. And so you get to see this early dynamic between them, and how they're both brilliant minds, but Hiro wants to just have fun. He doesn't necessarily want to go off and try to change the world. He has great intellect, he wants to make money, he wants to have fun, and then his brother introduces him to the school where he works, and the lab, and the people, and the innovations that are being made. Now, at first, this was just like nerd school. He's not interested in nerd school. We're doing these types of things. He likes making robots and having them fight in robot combat scenarios. But he doesn't guess a care about changing the world. When he sees what his brother and these people are doing and the amazing things they're making, then he wants to join this school. Now, this movie does deal with some little bit of darker themes. We've got some tragedy happening in these characters' lives. We've got some implied past tragedy that had happened before the movie started in their lives. And we've got, depression and just some adult themes taking place, which I love. As an adult, that clearly rings more true with me in the movie, but I think that's great for kids. We underestimate children, and that these types of themes can be presented to them. There's lots of children who've gone through some kind of tragedy in their life, whether it's extreme or minor, and it's good for them to be able to see somebody on screen who is dealing with certain types of issues, either like theirs or similar to theirs, and how these people can overcome them, whether it's with a group of friends or an adorably lovable robot healthcare provider, Baymax. Of course, Baymax is clearly the marketing tool, really, for this movie. He's like the Minions in Despicable Me. Likewise, Baymax is the same. Hiro's brother created this robot, Baymax, to help revolutionize healthcare and to be like a personal assistant. Eventually, we get Hiro and Baymax hooking up. And Hiro is a bot fighter. He loves robots. And here he gets this amazing robot in Baymax. And they get to team up, super style. Now this movie is like an origin story. If you've seen The Avengers or Fantastic Four, Guardians of the Galaxy, that's what we're getting here. This is a property based off of a Marvel comic. This is actually Disney's first animated movie based off of these Marvel comics. And so we get to see how the Big Hero 6 come together. So of course we have a villain who steals Hiro's technology and he's using it for negative gains. And we've got this group of people, of friends, who have to hook up. And through their science and technology, it's not about having superpowers. It's more like Iron Man. They use their science and their brains and their technology to develop things that enhance what they're capable of and using their specialties so that they can combat the villain of the story. And I think that's great. It's a movie not only about friendship, but about technology, about progression, about pushing boundaries and seeing what we're capable of. This, of course, can easily spark the imagination of a child. Kids use their imagination and they want to do things and be things, and this movie helps realize, sort of in a real-world way, that that type of thing is possible. My son, for example, wants to grow up and create Halo Spartan armor. He's already thinking about he's going to have to take engineering classes and what science classes he's going to have to take when he gets to college, because this is what he wants to do. He's not thinking, I want to figure out a way to make myself like Superman, because he understands that while that's fun, Superman is inherently fictional, whereas some kind of power armor is within the realm of possibility. And so this type of movie plays great that you can see that's possible. Anyway, we also get this great relationship that you get to see between Baymax and Hiro as the two of them complement each other and heal each other. Now, Baymax, I guess, doesn't need healing, but he certainly starts to become more than the sum of his parts. His programming at his core begins to change and grow because of his interactions with Hiro, while Hiro also begins to grow and learn and understand and heal and be a part of a group of a greater thing. Now, throughout this movie, I had feelings of other movies, and that's not a bad thing because these other movies are great. I had moments where I thought, like, ooh, Iron Man! Now, you may have seen in the trailer where Baymax is in that cool red body armor. Well, he's got jetpacks, he can fly, that's in the trailers. Well, there's a moment in there that reminded me of Iron Man. I leaned over to my son and was like, oh, it's Iron Man. And there's another sequence once Baymax is into flying and Hiro rides on his back, and I was feeling How to Train Your Dragon. That's what it felt like to me, which I love that movie and its sequel. And so watching this and having that feeling to me was a really good thing. There was also a comedic moment when once they've all sort of assembled the team and they've all got their suits and their abilities and their science, and one of the characters reminded me very much of like a Skylander. Not in a bad way. He's the comic relief of the story, and I enjoyed getting to see that, and I thought, oh, that looks like a Skylander come to life. That's so cool. Just for a side note, like most Marvel movies, Stan Lee does have a small cameo in it, so you should look for him and see if you can find him. Again, this is also a Marvel movie, so you need to stick around after the credits to see a sequence. I'm not saying you actually need to stick around to see the scene, but if you like that sort of thing, there is one additional scene at the very end of the credits, like you usually get in comic book movies. Was there anything about this movie that I didn't like? For the most part, no. But I'll say this, I'm very easy to please. I like movies, and I like crappy movies, and I generally just look past stuff. That doesn't mean, actually, I don't even look past it. It just doesn't bother me, generally. It does get a little slow in like in the end of the second act, I think. But there's also a lot of character building happening there as you're watching the team come together before we get to the big climactic moment in the end. There's plenty of humor in this movie. I found myself laughing a lot. My children were laughing. My wife was laughing. So that's a good thing, having the humor and enjoying the movie. I'm going to give this movie 2 thumbs up. I think you definitely need to see this movie, and even if you're an adult with no children, this is a great animated movie. Is it perfect? No, and your mileage may vary. Like I said, I'm super easy to please with movies. I've liked plenty of bad movies that nobody else I know likes. My friends are like, really? You like that? Why do you like that? My wife doesn't like it. And I'm like, oh, that's a great movie. I thought it was super fun to watch. My expectations vary wildly with movies, but if you've got children, I would definitely recommend seeing this movie, because again, there are some very mature themes that take place in this movie, and it's a great opportunity that maybe you could address certain issues with your children, or just allow your children to sort of be exposed to more adult things, at least in terms of thematic elements and more realistic type emotions that can happen. It's a good thing, in my opinion, to let kids experience those things. And if it's through a movie, even better, so they don't necessarily have to experience these types of tragedies actually personally. Alright guys, have you seen Big Hero 6? Let me know down below. And if you have, what did you think? Also, if you had your own Baymax, a personal healthcare assistant turned Chuck Norris rock star, what would you do with it? Alright, that's all the time we got for now, and I just want you guys to know that I am enjoying doing this. I am just a regular Joe. I haven't gone to film school. I'm not a film critic. I haven't studied film. I know I don't sound like I'm selling myself very well, but I'm a regular Joe who likes movies. And so I just want to express that and share some of the thoughts I've had about movies or feelings that I think about characters in movies. I just want to share that with you, and I'd love to hear what you guys think. It doesn't have to be super analytical. It just needs to be a community, a forum where we can talk about people, we can talk about characters and themes in movies and just have a good time. And I know you guys are out there have all kinds of great opinions, and I'd love to hear them and keep that discussion going in the comments down below. Please subscribe. That way you're aware of all this content that's coming out. Movie reviews, and my son is going to be reviewing movies, and some TV shows every once in a while, and a few other things, ideas I have coming on the horizon to keep the channel fresh, and things I'd like to see that I haven't seen necessarily on YouTube. And please give this video a like. It really helps me out. It lets me know that you're loving the video. And fist bump me, bro. Till next time, watch more movies.